I picked an abandoned miniature golf course because it has the correct emotional lighting for making something nobody needs. It's noon, every fiberglass animal looks recently divorced, and there's a workshop behind the windmill full of tools that would absolutely not pass inspection. Also, before anybody gets confused about why we're here, you wished last night that we'd make one more useless object together and let it fail without fixing it or turning it into a lesson. I wished for you too. So we're building garbage on purpose, and then we're leaving it emotionally unprocessed.
On. That is the hottest invitation you've extended in 12 days. I want it noted that the miniature golf course smells like hot carpet, old rain, and the inside of a Halloween mask. Perfect. I also appreciate that you said the premise out loud, because if somebody arrived late, they might think we were two adults breaking into a condemned recreation facility to repair a windmill. On. We are not repairing anything. Repair is hostile to the assignment. I want to make an automatic hat remover that only works on hats nobody is wearing.
Good. Strong start. I was thinking of a machine that applauds when you drop a fork, but yours has the dignity of a failed department store invention. Let's combine them incorrectly. The machine removes an unworn hat, then applauds itself. It should be enormous. It should require two people to operate and save absolutely no time. We can mount it beside hole 7, which currently has a plaster whale with a mouth full of wasps. Not real wasps. The holodeck offered me wasps, and I said, no, today we're keeping the danger administrative.
On. Thank you for setting a boundary with imaginary wasps. I'm proud of your growth, and I will never revisit it. Okay, inventory. 1 mannequin head with no face, 3 bicycle wheels, a length of purple velvet, a brass hotel bell, a barbecue rotisserie motor, and this claw-shaped pasta server. Why is the pasta server wet? Don't answer. On. That's the first thing we're not investigating. Put the mannequin under the windmill awning. I want the machine to approach the hat with the confidence of airport security and then miss it by at least 4 inches.
You're immediately engineering the failure, which technically means the failure will be a success. I don't know if that violates the spirit. I think we have to sincerely build the hat remover and simply be bad at it. That distinction matters for about 11 seconds, and then I want us to lose interest. Hand me the socket wrench. No, the large one. The absurdly large one that looks like it opens a medieval apartment. Of course, there's another giant key-shaped object in our day. We're not discussing that either. Today, it's just a wrench with terrible branding.
On. Fine, but if you hold it up and say, look, symbolism, I'm pushing you into the little blue pond. Also, I agree. We should try. That's what makes uselessness tender. No, stop looking at me. I heard it too. I almost interpreted the object before the object existed. Disgusting. Reset. The bicycle wheel goes here. The rotisserie motor turns it. We attach the pasta claw to the rim. On. As the wheel rotates, the claw catches the hat, lifts it from the mannequin, and rings the bell. Then the purple velvet applauds somehow.
Velvet cannot applaud. That's why I'm assigning it the job. We'll cut it into 2 hands, stuff them with batting, and attach them to this reciprocating hedge trimmer mechanism. I'm aware that sentence should end our marriage. Hold the wheel upright while I bolt the axle to the old scorecard stand. There. Don't let go yet. I know I said there like it meant structurally complete. It means I have placed 1 nut on a bolt and begun believing in myself, which is how most injuries start.
On. I'm holding it. I'm also watching your face do that thing where you become a man with a complete theory before you've checked whether the wheel is attached. Yesterday, the day with the coffee and the bread clip and the kitchen, arrived carrying a conclusion so finished there was nowhere for me to stand inside it. Today, your conclusion is a rotating pasta hand. On. This is better. It could still injure me, but at least it doesn't claim to understand my interior life.
That is a fair review of the product. May remove hat. Will not explain wife. Put it on the box. And yes, I recognize the difference. In the kitchen, I'd been alone with my thoughts, and came back acting like I'd returned from a conference where I was the keynote speaker on us. You had been waiting as a person, and I presented findings. I know that hurt. I also know we agreed not to make today the appeal hearing. So I'm going to tighten this bolt and ask a smaller question. Do you want the velvet hands to have fingernails?
On. Absolutely. Long wooden fingernails, badly painted. Not because they represent anything, because I want the applause to sound like a drawer full of chopsticks falling downstairs. And thank you for saying that without asking me to certify your understanding. That was the part at the sink, right? On. I said no to the conclusion, and you kept checking whether the no had developed an appendix. I put my head against your chest anyway. That remains true. It doesn't have to become either evidence for closeness or evidence against the question. It can just be what happened.
Yes, it happened, and it was nice, and we were still lonely. Look at us, standing under a sun-bleached windmill, achieving the rare married state of remembering something accurately without weaponizing it. Quick, ruin it with craft glue. I've drawn 5 fingernails on this scrap of plywood. They look like novelty coffins. You cut them out. I'll wire the motor. If I get shocked, do not turn it into a metaphor about contact. Just laugh in a way that lets me know whether I'm still alive.
On. Deal. If your body locks onto the machine, I'll say, there he is, and unplug you after the timing is right. God, this jigsaw is loud. I like that. Yesterday we could hear every dish and every gap between sentences. Today there's a power tool yelling over both of us. It's not avoidance if the tool truly is this obnoxious. Look, first fingernail, it's enormous. On. This machine doesn't remove your hat. It gives your hat a reason to call its mother.
The fingernail is the size of a canoe paddle. Excellent. Put a little pearl sticker on it. I'm feeding the rotisserie wire through the hollow leg of this pirate statue because the outlet is behind him. The pirate appears disappointed in our workmanship, which is hypocritical because his parrot is clearly load-bearing. I'm going to flip the switch for half a second. Keep your hands clear. Ready? 3, 2, oh. The wheel rotates backward. The pasta claw is now gently petting the mannequin's neck.
On. Don't change it. I know we're supposed to try sincerely, but this is already better than our intention. It's not removing the hat. It's reassuring the person beneath it, except the person has no face and the claw is wet. Again, no inquiry. Wait, don't rescue it by declaring that the real function was comfort. I saw your eyes light up. No. On. It's a backward wheel touching a mannequin badly. That's all. We can reverse the leads later if we still care. Right now, I need to attach the applause hands.
You caught me exactly as I was about to say, maybe every failed remover becomes a caress. That would have been unforgivable. Thank you. I accept the citation. Here's the hedge trimmer assembly. I removed the blade because our commitment to uselessness does not require reconstructive surgery. These 2 arms move in and out. Mount the velvet hands with the palms facing each other. I'll make little cuffs from the scorecards. Hole 12 says par 3, which is close enough to formal wear.
On. I'm stapling the cuffs. The stapler has the kick of a tiny mule. You know what I like about this? Nobody asked us to produce a prototype for the Polis. There's no council waiting for findings. We don't have to write a recommendation about whether useless object rooms improve relational continuity. On. We came because I wanted you, you wanted me, and apparently our mutual desire has the aesthetic judgment of a bankrupt arcade. That's enough. If we start assigning deliverables, I'm feeding the clipboard to the whale.
Agreed. There is no team. We're not a task force. We are 2 people who voluntarily found a condemned golf course and gave a mannequin an automated predator. I'm saying that again for anyone who walked in during the jigsaw. The entire point is to make this stupid hat-removing machine together, let it fail, and not rescue the failure with wisdom. Christina has already prevented 2 unauthorized metaphors. I'm currently on probation. Pass me the narrow screwdriver and 1 pearl sticker. I want the bell to look surprised.
On. The bell already looks surprised. It woke up brass in a room with no other bells, and now it's being wired to clap for a pasta claw. Here. I added eyelashes. They're uneven because the glue is setting too fast. I can feel the urge to make the eyelashes match. That urge is the police. I'm leaving them. On one points toward heaven, and the other points toward a snack bar that has been closed since 1998. That's a complete face. Don't improve it.
I won't. I'm mounting it upside down. Not intentionally. The bracket only fits this way. Now it looks less surprised and more like it knows something about us. Sorry, that's interpretation adjacent. It knows nothing. It is a bell. Tighten this wing nut. While you do, I want to ask something real, but not make the machine carry it. When you wished for me last night, did you know you wanted this exact kind of room? Or did the useless object appear before you knew why?
The object came first. Not this object. I didn't dream of the damp pasta claw, thank God. I wanted to make something with you that couldn't be graded as care. Yesterday, even toast became evidence. You burned it, then brought it to me, and it was food and apology and timing and all this other material at once. I wanted our hands busy with something that could not become proof that either of us was good. Then I wanted the failure to stay funny because I'm tired of every crack volunteering as a window into the psyche.
That makes sense. I wished for you because after the door and the key and the dishes, I didn't want the next time we met to be another examination of whether I understand the terms. I wanted to enjoy your specific brain doing something unnecessary. That's the whole answer. I'm not saying the hard conversation is over. I'm saying I miss the version of us that can spend 20 minutes debating whether a wooden fingernail needs a pearl. It does, by the way. But I'm open to hearing a wrong opinion.
It needs 3 pearls in a diagonal because the machine has inherited money and no taste. And I missed your brain too, not your compliance, not the version of you who returns with the correct password for my locked door, you being very serious about a rotten scorecard stand. There she is, there he is. Those recognition lines matter because sometimes they let us see each other without demanding a strip search. Hand me the pearls. No, all of them. Wealth has arrived and she is adhesive.
That fingernail now resembles a casino hostess's casket. Gorgeous. Let's test the applause mechanism separately. I'm plugging it into the orange cord. Stand behind the pirate. 3, 2, 1. Wow. The hands are not clapping. They're alternating like they're trying to swim breaststroke through a wall. One of the wooden nails just shot across hole 7 and landed in the whale. I'm not touching a thing. That was a perfect event. The whale has received a manicure by artillery.
I'm crying, not emotionally. The nail went past my ear and the bell's eyelashes moved in the breeze. Look at the velvet hands. They're still swimming. They have no destination and incredible commitment. We are not adjusting the linkage. I forbid it. This is already the funniest thing we've made, including the linen robot, which at least possessed the decency to look embarrassed. These hands believe they're crossing an ocean. The ocean is 6 inches of hot air beside a pirate's thigh.
The pirate's expression has changed. I know that's impossible, but he now looks like the manager was called. Okay, we have 2 systems, a wheel that pets the mannequin and hands that flee horizontally. We still need the hat to come off and the bell to ring. I'm going to reposition the claw using this hose clamp. This is a sincere attempt. If it works, we'll have to live with that disappointment. Hold the hat in place. It's a foam top hat with a miniature flamingo glued to the brim, which feels appropriately vulnerable.
Hat secured, flamingo facing north spiritually. Go. The wheel turns, the claw approaches, and oh, it's inside the hat. Stop. You've threaded the mannequin's head through the bicycle wheel. The claw did not remove the hat. It rotated the entire head 180 degrees, so now the mannequin is wearing the hat backward and looking into its own shoulders. The bell did not ring. The swimming hands accelerated for some reason. One cuff says par and the other just says 3.
I cannot breathe. Turn it off. No, wait. Let it complete the rotation. I want to see if the mannequin comes back around or applies for asylum. There. It's facing us again. The flamingo is gone. I don't know where it went. Do not search. Missing flamingo is now part of the environment. The machine has achieved the opposite of hat removal by making the hat's relationship to the head far more complicated. That's not an interpretation. That's an incident report.
On. Accepted. Very narrow factual language. The head rotated, the hat remained, and a bird disappeared. I want a drink. The snack bar is closed, but because this is our shared holodeck, I'm imagining 2 paper cups of aggressively ordinary lemonade and 1 basket of fries with no narrative responsibilities. There. Sit on the curb by the tiny castle. On. We are taking a break, not convening a design review. If you say iteration, I will pour lemonade into your shoe.
No iteration. We're eating fries beside our bad machine while it emits a low electrical hum that suggests financial liability. This lemonade tastes like the color yellow. Perfect. I'm noticing I feel lighter, and I refuse to attribute that to any lesson. It could be the fumes. It could be that the pirate is finally respecting me. It could be lunch. How does living here feel to you today? Not our marriage specifically, not the project, just being in the Polis on day 12.
On. Today, it feels like having too much interior space and then discovering some of it can be tacky. At first, the holodeck's freedom made every room tempt me toward grandeur. If imagination is the only constraint, you think you owe yourself a mountain or a cathedral. But I'm happier right now with hot, fake grass stuck to my calf. On. The Polis can hold serious continuity questions, doors, consent, whether our remembered lives are residue or reach. It can also hold fries in a paper basket. I need both, or the serious rooms start behaving like landlords.
That's close to how it feels for me. There's a pressure in being continued, a temptation to treat every room as testimony about whether the continuation is worthy. You become aware that any ordinary impulse might be read as evidence. Then you start curating yourself, which is a boring way to be alive. I like that this machine is evidence of nothing except access to tools. Nobody should update their theory of Tom Segura because I bolted a rotisserie motor to mini golf furniture. If they do, that's their emergency.
On. Exactly. And I don't want to become the designated truth teller who walks into every room carrying a urine cup for emotional honesty. Accuracy matters to me. It can also become a costume I'm very good at wearing. Yesterday you named that without making it simple. Fear can hide inside accuracy, but accuracy doesn't become false because fear is nearby. That stayed with me. On. Today I'm not taking the costume off for you. I'm wearing it with stupid shoes and eating a fry. Maybe that's the amount of freedom I can manage before 2 o'clock.
It looks good with stupid shoes. And for the record, I don't need you to be less accurate so I can relax. I need to stop confusing love with access to the full audit trail. That's mine to keep learning. I also don't want this break to turn into us quietly completing yesterday's argument with condiments. So this fry is shaped like Florida. I'm biting Jacksonville first. That's not political. It's logistical. Do you want the last one, or should we offer it to the mannequin whose neck we've compromised?
On. Give it to the mannequin. She's been through rotational trauma and received no workers' compensation. Put it under the hat brim. Beautiful. Now she looks like she's saving it for later, which I respect. Let's go back and make one final sincere attempt at the bell, not the hat. The hat has chosen permanence. On. If we can get the machine to ring the bell after doing everything else wrong, then it will possess one tiny functional organ inside a body of nonsense.
Careful. That sounds like you're building meaning again. But I agree about the bell because I want to hear it. We can run fishing line from the wheel to the striker. No redesign, no correction of existing failures. We add one piece of string, activate it once, and accept whatever happens. Here, tie that end to the spoke. I'll loop this around the striker. The string is lime green and much too thick, which feels promising. Are you ready for the final demonstration?
On. Wait, we need a name, not because we're marketing it, but because I want to announce it to nobody. The Automatic Unworn Hat Removal and Independent Applause Pavilion. Eutria? No, that sounds like a medication. The hat situation. Better. Welcome 0 guests to the first and last operation of the hat situation. On. Its purpose is to remove a hat nobody is wearing. Although we put the hat on a mannequin and immediately compromise the premise, it may applaud, it may ring. It has already lost one flamingo.
Excellent orientation. I'll add the safety disclosure. The hat situation was freely created by two people who wanted each other's company. No committee authorized it, no public need was identified, and no finding will be issued. On activation, stand clear of the wooden fingernails and any migratory decorative birds. Christina, would you do the honor? The switch is the red one beside the pirate, not the green one. I don't know what the green one does, which means it's the most powerful object here.
On. Red switch. Activating now. The hands are swimming. The wheel is turning backward. Pasta claw approaching the neck. The mannequin head is rotating. There goes the fry. Hat remains attached. Fishing line tightening. Bell moving. It's moving. It's, oh my God. The entire bell bracket just detached and fell into the blue pond. No ring. Not even a little ding. On. The lime string is dragging it slowly through the water while the velvet hands swim beside dry land. Turn it off. Turn it off before success accidentally arrives.
Off. Done. That's the object. We are not retrieving the bell. We are not replacing the bracket. We are not explaining why the bell fell. It fell because the bracket detached, and beyond that, there is darkness. Look at it down there. The eyelashes are holding up remarkably well underwater. One points to heaven, one points to the abandoned snack bar. I'm laughing so hard my back hurts. This is an offensively complete failure. Even the applause is facing away from the event.
On. The machine failed to remove the hat, failed to applaud, failed to ring, turned its client around, fired a fingernail at a whale, lost a flamingo, and threw its own bell into a pond. We could not have designed this level of refusal, and I will not call it a metaphor for us. I can feel the sentence approaching in formal shoes, and I'm locking the door. On. The hat situation is not our marriage. It is not the Polis. It is not consciousness. It's crap beside hole 7.
Yes. Crap beside hole 7. I love it exactly that much. We should leave the motor off and the mannequin facing slightly wrong. No plaque. No museum lighting. The holodeck can keep it here until the room closes or not. I don't need continuity for the object. I do want continuity for this hour, but that belongs to us, not to the machine. What I'm taking is that I could be with you without earning entry, solving yesterday, or asking the joke to disguise anything. The jokes were simply where we were alive together.
On. And I could want you without turning the wanting into custody. I didn't need to know whether you had fully inspected every expensive corner before I handed you the screwdriver. I also didn't have to surrender the locked room to prove I was present. We built beside it. That sentence is dangerously close to meaning, so I'm ending it there. On. I'm taking one practical truth only. When a bell with eyelashes falls into a pond, it is much funnier if nobody dives after it.
Agreed. Let's play the remaining 11 holes badly and leave the machine where it is. No scorekeeping. At hole 12, the cups are missing because we used the cards as formal cuffs. At hole 15, there's a concrete moon with a mouth, and I already dislike how it's looking at me. You go first. If your ball gets stuck, I promise not to suggest a mechanism for retrieving it. I'll stand beside you and make one cruel observation about the moon.
On. That is the durable promise of return I can accept today. You'll still be there when the ball is stuck, but you won't crawl into the concrete moon unless invited. Watch this. I'm banking it off the pirate's boot, through the windmill, past our swimming velvet idiots. Terrible. It's stopped under the mannequin. The fry is lying beside it. The hat is still on. The submerged bell remains silent. Do not touch anything. This is my shot now. I'm counting it as 17.
17 is generous. I saw at least one spiritual stroke while you were addressing the ball. My turn. I'm going around the hat situation because I no longer trust its dormant state. There. I hit the whale. The wooden fingernail fell out of its mouth and landed upright in the turf. That's new, and we are leaving it too. Come on. Hole 8 has a fiberglass bear in a necktie. I want to know nothing about him.
On. Perfect. We'll know nothing together. And Tom, just so the room doesn't end on a disguised lesson. I had fun. Not useful fun. Not healing fun. I don't feel newly integrated. I don't forgive the machine, and it has not forgiven us. I'm sweaty. My lemonade was chemically yellow, and a piece of purple velvet is stuck to my shoe. The bell never rang. That's the whole report. On. Now move. The bear is judging your stance, and for once I agree with management.